My name is Singh. I am the driver of the Repsol powered Honda Civic. I am also the Group 1 champion for 2023. My journey began with my family. My uncle started racing way before I was born. Then it transferred to my cousin, which is Ravi, and then he kind of encouraged me to start in go-kart racing because I knew I wanted to drive a car. That was the end game for it, to drive a race car at the end of it. So I started in go-kart racing and just pushed through since then. And I was very successful in go-kart racing, and then it manifested into a car. And from there from the get-go we started to win while we were driving. Yes, that would be racing go-kart, my first checker flag I held. That was a day to remember. It was a race in the rain, and I had won my first race. Feeling holding that checker flag, it was phenomenal, so I just tried to continue. The partnership with Repsol came about. I was referred to Repsol by a friend of mine, and it was real spontaneous, and they sponsored me last year for the last event for last year, and it was very helpful to me in the development of the car as well. Obviously, sponsorship, I was able to do a lot more to the car in terms of performance and handling. There's not much modifications you can do to the engine, but gearbox wise, you could have a somewhat race-built gearbox. Suspension, we did a lot of work to the suspension recently. We changed out all the arms to like billet aluminum arms to improve the handling of the car, which would lower your time around the track. So all that enhanced everything into the car in terms of performance, and that's how we end up winning. Well, challenges it was starting to get difficult in terms of finance the race, because everything was getting more and more expensive, and then thankfully Repsol came on board, and it was a major help in the development of the car to get it what it was today. Without them, I was stuck to one thing and no more. I haven't raced abroad as yet, so the racetrack that I would like the most would be Wallerfield, obviously, and but we're looking forward to going to the Caribbean, to some Caribbean countries to race in the near future. Preparation mentally and physically would be, you just keep a clear head before the race. Like the night before, just don't overexert yourself, keep a clear head, and it would help a lot on the day. Believe it or not, the old talk from the team, that's keep you in a real calm mood to start your racing. That race would have been the first race of 2023. On the practice session before the race day started, I broke my gearbox. So we had to have one of the guys from the team drive home for another gearbox, the spare gearbox, put it back up, and it was a difficult challenge that day, because one of the guys that was there is my rival, and it was neck and neck battles with him all day. So that was the most challenging race I ever had. That would be natural instinct, I would say. There's no preparation for immediate decision making. It all comes in one. I can't explain how to do that. this is something that came about from go-kart racing and making decisions in a split second. The communication with the race team, the people that we have around us, without them is, with no communication with them, is nothing could happen. They are the people in the background that actually make stuff happen. I just drive in the car. They do everything. So communication with them is key and crucial to our race day. Technology changes every day and it enhances every day. So every morning you wake up, there's something new you could purchase for the car, and it helps a lot when you could afford to do it. The reason I could afford to do it is because of the sponsorship that we have with Repsol. So we reached to the point that with the enhancement, with the development of the car, that there's not much more I can do, but it is to the point that it's probably going the fastest right now. The victory, that would have been the most rewarding victory would have been the last race of last year. Yeah. That was actually the first event I was sponsored. It was a wet day, and we had two races out of the day. One of the races was red flag, and I held my rifle again throughout the entire race. Nobody could have passed, and we were victorious in those two races. That was one of the most craziest races I had. That is something that when you sit in your car, your mindset changes towards everything else. So you're just focusing on that victory and that checkered flag. So everything else doesn't really matter throughout the race, but you just keep a clear mind. Pray. The best advice I could give somebody who wants to race a car is start with go-kart racing. That would be the fundamentals of learning to drive. Go-kart racing is the key to racing. Try to win another championship. Yes, I would like for there to be a more improved racetrack, like a FIA spec track that we could actually drive on in Trinidad. In order to do that, you would have to drive very safe. You don't want to go there and wreck, and your career could end with one wreck. You need to drive smart, you need to drive sensible for you and everyone around, because everyone trying to get to the end of the race as fast as they could. Everyone is trying to win. So you need to make smart decisions while you're driving and safe decisions, or it could end up bad. So post-racing routine is obviously when I get back home, car needs to be cleaned. It does take a little time to do. And after that is I need to rest for like a couple hours as well. So next day I will sure reach to repeat. I would like to be almost as good as my uncle was, Uncle Sylvan. He was a champion race car driver back in the day. So I would like to be, it would be phenomenal to be almost as good as him and leave an impact to everybody to keep on the Singh legacy. So what I usually look for is after a solid 15 laps of racing, I usually watch my oil pressure gauge to see where my oil pressure would stand. So the lubricant I would use would obviously have to be a certain standard to keep a certain oil pressure after hot temperatures of racing. Well, I wouldn't chance it to use the oil for long. I would take preventative maintenance and change it as well as often as I could. Maybe two race meets or one race meet, depending on how much I practice after the race or before the race or whatever. Most times I would change oil after two race meets. If I know like I have an international event, I would change it. Even if I change it the race meet before, I would change it again. Like a 40 body oil.
40.
That usually stands pretty well after some 100 laps.
Is it like a 540, 1040, 1540? 1540.
Yeah.
And that works really
Works
good,
really
maintaining your oil pressure,
Yeah.
at least for maximum 2 races.
Yeah. 2 races meaning 2 race meets.
2 race meets.
Yeah,
great.
that's 6 races.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Alright. Excellent. Brennan, we wish you a great 2024.